alive right now.
Everybody stop talking now. Attention. I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time when I beat Sonny Liston. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time. Never again defeat me. Never again say that I'm going to be defeated. Never again make me the underdog until I'm about 50 years old. That's right. Then you might get me.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Oleksandr Usyk, Vitali Klitschko, and Anthony Joshua. Get this. Oleksandr Usyk is given the blessing of the mayor of Kiev and former world heavyweight champion Vitali Klitschko after the boxer left his combat unit on the front line in Ukraine to defend his own title against Anthony Joshua at Wembley Stadium. Oleksandr Usyk has been backed by former world heavyweight champions Vitali and Vladimir Klitschko after he left the front lines in Ukraine to defend his own title. Usyk has made the difficult decision to leave his combat unit in the fight against Russia to prepare for his heavyweight rematch with Anthony Joshua this summer. But he will be honored by the support of Vitali, the mayor of Kiev, and his brother Vladimir, who has also taken arms to defend his city. Usyk, the unified world champion, enlisted in Kiev territorial defense with photos on social media showing him dressed in a full military gear following Vladimir Putin's brutal invasion. And now the Klitschko brothers, who dominated world heavyweight boxing from 2004 to 15, have endorsed Usyk's decision and insisted that the publicity will generate for Ukraine in months ahead will be crucial in the country's struggle for survival. A very important message could be carried through an event like this, insisted Vitali, who has been the mayor of Kiev since 2014 and is one of the most prominent politicians in the country's battle against Russian aggression. He says, "We do not know if in 3 months we will exist. I actually have plans to speak to Oleksandr Usyk to give him advice if he decides to make the fight, to have some special messages that he can put out there," added the former boxer 50, who held the WBO World Heavyweight title from 1999 to 2000 and the WBC title twice between 2004 and 2013 in an interview with The Telegraph. Let me stop right there, okay? And because I want to counterpunch something that's very important. What Vitali's doing is sending Oleksandr Usyk. He's blessing Oleksandr Usyk with his decision he decided to make. And he's wishing him the best because he's the most representative, or the best representative, that Ukraine has to offer at this point. They may lose the war. Russia's a lot bigger than Ukraine. The war is in Ukraine. They can only do things to defend it. You can only respect it, and God bless them. But I think Vitali wants Oleksandr Usyk to be that shining symbol of the Ukraine. Key words: this country may not exist. And I think what Vitali wants, he wants Oleksandr Usyk to be the representative for the country that was invaded wrongfully, in a lot of people's eyes. And he wants him to represent Ukraine and never forget Ukraine and what it stood for and the people that fought there. There was numerous of Ukrainians, you know, from Vitali, Vladimir, Alexander Volzhnik, Oleksandr Usyk, Vasily Lomachenko. These guys were all from the Ukraine. And he wishes them well, and he respects the decision despite other people calling him a traitor or runner or whatever. He didn't defend his country. But, you know, well, it ain't the fact he didn't. He was doing that. It ain't the fact that he didn't or refused to defend his country. He was doing that already. So I think people got it twisted on what it is that Oleksandr Usyk did. He had a decision. He took it. He's a family member of 3, and you know the rules there. And then if you had a family member of 3, you could leave the country if you had 3 children. Okay, so because, 3 children, I guess they weighed it like, hey, that's, you have the right to take care of your family, take arms somewhere else. And because we don't know what and how Russia, if they're already bombing the place, you don't know what they're going to do with the survivors or anything else. So it's bad. It's bad all the way around. Okay. And it's good to see Vitali support Oleksandr Usyk in the decision, besides take up a stance of why did you leave? He already knows, and he's pragmatic and realistic about what could possibly happen in the Ukraine. It could be bombed and they could give up and they could overrun the Ukraine and it becomes a part of Russia again or whatever. And he knows that. So getting his best representative out of there, or representing or supporting the decision of Oleksandr Usyk, I think is a pretty good option. Because again, he is the symbol of the Ukraine, and the Ukraine needs something that shines brighter than war and weapons. How about talent? And that is exactly what Oleksandr Usyk possesses. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Vitali and Vladimir Klitschko in support of Oleksandr Usyk's decision to train, to battle, and to defend his titles against Anthony Joshua. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.